Hello, welcome back. It is Mike from Canavan Wealth. It is Tuesday, October 3rd, time for Mike Reads the Journal. I am actually off visiting my son at college for a day or two here, tagging along with my wife who's up there for business. So I'm actually recording this Sunday, October 1st. We're not going to do markets, and we are just going to dive into one article here. And this is a fun one for me because it's where I live. So when sleepy little Southeastern Idaho makes the national news, you know I got to cover it. I'm actually going to tell this story with the map that is coming up. But this is talking about how Driggs and Victor, Idaho, these kind of sleepy little towns, have been rapidly expanding. Talk about property values in 3 years are up 78%. So I'm kind of one of these people coming in. We bought a house in Victor actually in 2000. And, I deal with the HOA. I've said that a couple of times, and I've seen this. It is absolutely crazy what is going on in this area. But to really understand what is going on, let's take a look at the map. So this is the U.S., obviously. Idaho over here in the west, not in the I-complex. You'd be surprised, or maybe not surprised, at how many people think Idaho is somewhere here in the middle with all the other I states. It is not. So we were talking about this area of the world. Most people know Jackson, or they think of it as Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is actually the depression of land in front of the Grand Teton Range that the Snake River runs through. Jackson is the town in the south. Jackson used to be kind of a sleepy little town in kind of the 80s, but it really started taking off in the 90s. And here in the 2000s, it's a major Western resort. It has a ski area here, right here, Jackson Hole Mountain Resort Rendezvous. It is literally the first mountain outside the park. It is an incredible ski resort with 4,000 feet of vertical drop, often touted as the largest vertical drop in North America. Jackson has the problem that everything to the north of it is national park, and everything in every other direction is impenetrable mountains. And I mean, these are serious mountains, right? These are 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet mountains, and Jackson starts at 6,000. So Grand Teton is 14,000. And the land trusts have done such a good job. You can see a lot of it is still open and still a lot of ranches. They've done a really good job of keeping it from getting overdeveloped. I'm sure everyone who lives there would still claim that it is overdeveloped. However, you cannot find a house in Jackson, especially if you're or someone who's going to be working there, working teaching, or working in Jackson. They all lived in Victor and Driggs over this 35-minute drive mountain pass, which tops out at about 8,000 feet, I think. So this used to be the bedroom community for Jackson, and now it is becoming its own big Western resort. And we see it happening already as housing prices go crazy through the roof in Victor and Driggs. People are now having to live in Swan Valley, this is another big mountain pass. Or conceivably, they're going to have to start living out in Felt, Tetonia, Newdale, these towns. What's interesting about this is that even though this is a mountain pass, it is very well maintained in the winter. This is one of the worst roads in Idaho. This 33 that goes out through these potato fields. It's not mountainous. It's not flat because it's pretty hilly through here. However, the plows just can't keep up with it when it doesn't even have to be snowing. It's the wind. The wind blows the snow effectively all the way up the Snake River Valley and just buries this road nonstop. And this thing gets closed all the time. 26, it doesn't have as much of a problem, but this area has its own growth problems because the Snake River, this is the south fork of the Snake River. This is world-class fly fishing all through here. Jimmy Kimmel just bought the South Fork Ranch, which is like right around here, and is developing that pretty incredibly. So this area, what is going to happen to Jackson when it's affordable housing, Driggs and Victor, are turned into their own ski resort? It's like you have to live in Tetonia, and it's like if you lived in Vail, but now all of a sudden you have to drive through Aspen just to get to the mountain resort town that you're going to work at. So interesting problems going on here in the West, becoming a very, very popular place for all sorts of reasons, really as the baby boomers are retiring and looking for places to settle down. Southeastern Idaho, this part of Wyoming is absolutely gorgeous. And we're starting to pay the price for it. I'm not going to make too many other comments on other things which will become politically charged. So just a kind of fun article I wanted to cover because it is where I live. Oh, by the way, I live over here in Idaho Falls. This is where my office is. We have a house here in Idaho Falls we generally live in, and we also have a place here in Victor. So hope this was informative, although probably not. It's a little more fun for me to do, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.